So, welcome to episode 2, CineNerds. I'm James.
I'm JP.
I'm Ryan.
And we are your CineNerds. So, for the next few episodes, we made a decision that we all picked a Christmas movie. Or at least what we think is a Christmas movie.
Yeah. there's
So much was said in that, yeah.
there's one questionable one there.
They're all questionable.
No.
No. For once, I'm on JP's side. No, I mean...
Is this one I think it is? Or are we debating this already about... In the first 20 minutes, there's 12 references of Christmas.
I mean, I'm not saying it's not a Christmas movie, but like...
What's the outro song? Fucking Let It Snow.
I'm not saying it's
Christmas.
Not, but I'm saying like...
He's not saying it's
Let's
not.
save it for that
but
episode.
it's not.
Okay? That's a whole different... We'll break the internet with that one later.
Okay, well, today...
What film are we reviewing today?
Today, I chose, and my wife helped me pick because I wanted to pick a good one. Heather, I think, did a good job helping me with this one. So I chose Krampus. It's not the usual Christmas movie that everybody always assumes is going to be what it is. It's dark. And it's dark. I mean, it's to me, and I'm probably going to take shit from everybody on this, but it's almost a Christmas horror movie in its own little way. I mean, it's not the Go Happy Christmas movie that everybody's used to.
It's no Silent Night, Deadly Night.
No, I'm not, and I know that, but I mean, but it does.
Do you know that?
I'm not gonna. Jesus Christ!
Oh, you don't have your phone to look up your fun now. Huh?
I got my computer right there. I'm good. I can do whatever the hell I want. But
Don't
no,
throw your popcorn at me.
hey, I do what I want. I made it. Vanilla pumpkin spice. Eat it. I just want it to be known that Ryan.
Vacation, I could beat my kids. I made them.
Wow. I want it to be known that Ryan had the vanilla pumpkin spice, and the exact words were.
That's because it should just be vanilla spice.
It's pretty
There's
good.
no pumpkin.
This is pretty good.
But
But anyway, with that being said,
in Ryan's defense, I think he's hungry, and so he was like, "Yeah, it's good because I'm hungry."
I'm always hungry. I'm fat. But I'll say this, since we're talking about his popcorn, the Runts is pretty kick-ass. So.
Yeah.
And I'm not upselling him either, you stupid... No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, he don't care. But I picked Krampus. To me, and when we get into it, we'll get into it, but there's some things that I wrote down about this one that just, it really makes me think about where we're at as a society. And that's what I really, like, that's why I like this movie. Like, if you don't watch this movie and really get a bigger picture, then you're fucking up, in my opinion. The older I get, it's not about anything other than I want to spend time with my family. I want to have dinner. Honestly, I'm 41 years old. If my math's right, my dad's going to be 67 on Sunday. And the one thing that I cannot wait for this year is sitting on the couch with him, and I'm going to turn on a Muppet Christmas Carol, because that's what we watched as I was a kid. Because I want, we're getting older, and... You're
not going to make him watch Krampus.
Oh, he loves
Krampus.
Krampus. He'll watch it. we might watch it too, because he likes that too. But the older I'm getting, the point is, like, it's not about anything other than family for me at this point. Like, I don't need a gift under the tree. I don't need any of that. I just want to wake up. I want to see Lawson enjoy his gifts, and I want to spend time with my family.
So that brings a good topic with my wife and I up as well. Jess and I were talking, and what do you want for Christmas? What do you want for Christmas? And
Nothing.
I don't want anything. And she doesn't believe me. She doesn't think this is a legitimate statement. And I'm like, I have everything I need. I usually buy everything that I need through the course of the year. I genuinely just want to see you guys happy.
Everything I want's expensive. No one's going to spend $2,000 for Christmas presents.
Yeah.
I met a couple once when I worked for a moving company. Mortgage. I met a couple once when I worked for a moving company back in the 2000s that she bought him for Valentine's Day a Nissan 350Z.
Why?
That's not even a birthday present.
That's the kind of gifts I need. I mean...
You're an idiot.
No, I'm not an idiot.
Yeah, no.
I'm
you
greedy.
Yeah. But it just I think that there is a lot to be said about just where we're at as like, I mean, look at Facebook now. Everything's about look at me, and how much attention can I get, and I think
that's how I feel when you post those pumpkin spice.
His selfie videos with the fucking pumpkin spice.
That is honestly at this point, that's just to make you two mad. It's not about anything else other than to get you two riled up.
And before that, it was, hey, look at me, I'm at Starbucks. I got pink drink.
JP, I have a really awesome idea to add
the
to
pink
the
drink is
podcast that I'll
amazing.
fill you in later because he doesn't need to know.
Okay.
It'll be in your benefit. Don't worry.
Nothing's ever in my benefit. Trust me.
All right,
But-
I'm sorry. All right, at your expense.
At my expense. There we go.
So, question.
Honestly.
Obviously, you had seen. Had you ever seen Krampus before?
I had not.
Okay.
And I was pleasantly surprised. It was a good suggestion. Heather did well. Heather.
Give her all the credit. That's fine.
No, I know you're.
It was her. No,
I know you're not a horror fan.
Well, no,
so
no. To be honest, my pick was in your realm. I was gonna go with Batman Returns because I love Batman, and it's a Christmas. It's during Christmas
That's
theme.
a Christmas movie, not the. Oh my god!
I didn't say yours wasn't. I didn't say it wasn't.
Anyways,
I'm just saying.
Krampus, stay focused, right?
But with that being said, no, I like this movie.
Well, back to what I was saying. I was pleasantly surprised though because I really went in this movie with I think that's the key to going into any movie. I went into it with incredibly low expectations, and what I came away from was I laughed. I fucking cringed at a couple parts. I enjoyed what was going on thoroughly. The story through and through was good. It was good. Awesome.
I don't know his name, and I could look it up, I guess. But the guy from Parks and Rec. It was I like seeing him in a different style of movie.
Is it Adam Smith or Adam Scott?
Adam Scott, that's right.
Yeah.
Like I enjoyed seeing
From
him.
Step Brothers.
Was he in Step Brothers?
He was in Step
Yes, he
Brothers.
was. Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
It was Adam Scott and Toni Collette, actually.
And I a lot of people. I've actually seen United States of Terror. She was in that sitcom. I don't think she gets enough credit of how great of an actress she is because she had to play like 8 different characters because she is a schizophrenic in that movie, in that TV show. Like, she's a great actress. I actually really liked her in the Knives Out movies. Like that, I thought that was the first one, Knives Out. Like she was great in that.
Oh, what else? She's in something else that I watched that's amazing. I can't place it though. I can't remember.
I can never say his last name, but I had to look because I tried just now to look it up to try to do it. But David Koechner, however you say his last name, from wow, he talks out of the side of his mouth. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh,
he
played the role like the uncle from National Lampoons.
Yeah, but he he is, I think, a great actor who, again, doesn't get enough credit to what he does. I actually follow him in his stand-up, and the guy's hilarious. But he plays that role of being kind of a dick so good. And I think it's because of the mouth thing, kind of just plays it off even better. Because, like, let's be honest, and we talked about this movie for a brief second on the last episode, but in Waiting, he was gold in Waiting because he was the manager. Like,
yes.
Like, he was gold in that movie.
But tell me in Krampus, when he uses the shotgun, you didn't want to yell, whammy!
Yeah.
That's what I kept thinking the whole time I was watching it. Because, and my initial thoughts on it is, I had seen that movie once. I'd only actually seen it once, and wasn't long after it came out. I think it came to DVD and Blu-ray before I finally watched it. And I loved it. The first time I watched this movie, I loved it. I was like, man, this is way better than I really thought it was going to be. Now, rewatching it, this is the second time I watched it.
Now he's disappointed as shit.
I was actually pretty disappointed a second watch through. And I think...
Idiot.
I think my issue is...
Because it's you.
First off, I kept hearing whammy every time that guy was on screen.
His previous.
I kept seeing him, waiting on him to go. Is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? But that aside,
this isn't Anchorman, you moron.
That aside, the director, I think his name's Mike Daughtry or something.
Michael Daughtry, yes.
Yeah, Mike Daughtry.
He also is producer.
He
did Trick or Treat.
That's where I'm going with this. Is
never saw it.
He did Trick or Treat. He
I
also
like it.
did, he also did Godzilla, King of the Monsters,
Right.
Watch that.
which I fucking love. And he's not directed a lot of films. I mean, his IMDb is pretty short. But I knew that he had directed Trick or Treat. So me going in for a second watching, since I haven't watched it in probably since 2016, the last time I watched Krampus. And like I said, I only watched it once. So when you picked it, I was kind of excited. I was like, man, I only saw this once and I remember really loving it. And I knew this guy did Trick or Treat, and I love Trick or Treat. I think that is just a superb film. Watching it, I'm just like, man, this is nothing. This is nowhere near as good as Trick or Treat.
So I like Krampus to the point with what you're saying. So I'm concerned about my second watch through. Now you're saying,
yeah.
this.
Well, and then watching it a second time, and I believe, is it rated PG-13? Because it has to be. And
I would assume so.
I don't know. There's a couple parts in there that they might deem, and the language too could put it at an R.
My second watch through, it felt like a PG-13 film, and that was where it fell short with me. And that's my fault.
It is.
Yeah, I thought it was PG-13. I didn't look it up, but I felt the PG-13 the second watch through. And it's not that I hated it the second watch through, it's just I felt the PG-13, and it took away from what could have been way better film.
So just to give a more recent example, did you feel like you were watching Five Nights at Freddy's instead of Willy's Wonderland?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's actually a great comparison. Like, it's that film. It should have been rated R. And the second watch through, I felt the PG-13, and it didn't work for me the second watch.
So here's my little, just I'll add to this and then we'll get into the reviews. I'm thinking that second watch through will be just as good for me, because I still have two takeaways from this. I can sit down and watch this with my kid, and at the same time he's going to learn something. There's a couple scary elements, but he's going to learn something about some morals in this, and there's jumping fucking gingerbread cookies.
Yeah.
That's the best part. That's my favorite part of the whole movie.
Those two things, like, I've already added into the Christmas collection. Like, I feel like that's one of those things you can watch around Christmas time.
That part feels like Ghostbusters Afterlife when all the mini marshmallow guys.
Yeah.
I love that. Like, that was my favorite part of that movie.
Talking about that, off a little tangent here.
I
got the new VR2 Ghostbusters game.
And is it awesome?
It is awesome for what I've got to play. I haven't got to play a lot of it yet. But the little marshmallow men, they will get on you, and you have to reach and grab them and pull
that's
them
why
off.
I want it so bad.
It's so cool.
I saw that for the Meta Quest, and I was like, but then you and Waylon were like, no, just get the PS5, and I'm like, all right, like that makes more sense. And after playing Waylon's other games, I'm like, yeah, I got
my son, my 19-year-old son, he's a huge gamer, so is the 11-year-old, but we had a whole debate between the three of us about the VR helmets and what to get, and my older son is trying to push me on MetaQuest, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna get the PS.
No, you gotta do the PS5.
Well, and to his point, he made a valid point, but I came back. He goes, but Dad, there's not enough games for it. I go, there will be. It doesn't matter. Yes, because that's what they're gonna push that so hard. Because I have the first one that they put out, and I packed it up as soon as I got it, and I pulled it out again because all the fucking wires and all the headache.
Yeah.
So this new one, I'm excited.
No, the new one's awesome.
The new one is, man. I mean, it's running off the power of the PS5. That's all you need to know about it.
We should listen. I'll say this: we need to get into the review part, but we need to do a video game movie episode where we either tear apart any of the video game movies or see if there's any video games movies that are worthy. I think that'd be a cool.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, do you want to go into the review?
Yeah.
Do you want me to start with what I wrote down?
You start.
I took some notes here. Not much, but I took notes.
I actually did not take notes on this one because I was being lazy for this one for some reason. But honestly, I had seen it before, and it's a pretty straightforward.
What's funny is I didn't take notes for your pick for the next episode.
I took a lot of notes,
but I didn't need to because I was so into it because I actually really enjoyed it. But we'll go into that next episode. So the first thing I wrote here, and I know like I'm probably gonna get like from people, but this is just what I got out of it. The beginning really depicts what's wrong with society in general for me. Right now, like it really does. Like how the whole thing just starts. You got this one kid who just is trying to still keep that Christmas spirit. You got grandma sitting there trying to help him. And it just, dad's too busy worrying about his shit. You know, blah, blah, blah. Like, and I get, like, he came out of that, and that's great. But to me, the whole thing, you know, the greedy, the self-absorbedness, the grown adult brats, you know, like, the whole, like, I do feel that we are at our age. I mean, you guys are only a couple years older than me, so we're all in the same boat here. I may make fun of you guys for being old.
We're aging more gracefully.
I'm the only one here not gray. You remember that.
You can dye your hair and be dyslexic.
I still have not dyed. You could dye your hair and look like me. You remember that. You can wait. Have you seen the newest Grinch movie?
I earned these grays.
The chocolate explosion. Shit. You could go get that.
I earned these grays. I won't be dying
You earned that.
I do want to say one thing about the opening credits, because you kind of jump to where he's kind of being they're kind of neglecting the son.
Yeah.
But the opening credits with them out shopping. Now, I had a problem with this scene.
Okay, what was that?
Now, first off, in today's world, you don't see places crowded like that anymore because everybody does their shopping online. But we'll look past that. So they're in a crowded mall or shopping center. They're going and visiting Santa. There's all these people. It's hectic. It's like Black Friday.
Yep.
What
it used to be.
Or what Black Friday used to be, or Christmas Eve, what it used to be, is what it felt like. So I remember watching these opening credits and seeing all this, and I'm like, okay, yeah, we're at Christmas Eve. It's somewhat believable. But then when they get home and they're going through, it's like 3 or 4 days before Christmas. And it became really unbelievable that they went to a shopping center that was that busy in 2015.
I find
Christmas
it
Eve.
hilarious that you went there with all the horror movies you guys like. That how much shit is not even close to being realistic.
Well, the thing is,
this is the problem with fanboys today.
This
is how we microanalyze shit and why we tear things apart.
This isn't mine. So
the problem is, I've worked in retail for so long.
I know, same. I get it.
I saw that opening scene and I was just like, this isn't believable. This isn't Christmas Eve. This is 4 or 5 days before Christmas, and this is a Christmas Eve crowd or a Black Friday crowd. This is just not believable to me.
So it was moderately believable to me because South Park
is like that all December.
Destroyed.
I mean, all December. I worked there for a while, and yeah, I worked there during Christmas once. Good God, that mall, you can't park during Christmas the whole month.
I get that in 15, 20 years ago, but we're talking...
that mall's like that, was like that around this time period. But hey, like, I get what you're coming from. I do get where you're coming from. The one thing that I will say about these movies, and I do feel that these movies are made to make us think about how we're acting and how we're being, and to kind of snap out of our bullshit lives. And I do feel that we just overlook it. I feel like we just, we're watching these movies to just get out of 2 hours out of our daily lives instead of missing the actual message.
Did we bring him in for comedic relief?
Yeah, but hey, this was my movie. This was my movie. I do what I want.
He's getting too real. He's getting way too real.
Not enough shoppers.
The one thing do you know what else I learned? You know what else I got from this movie? That kid should have just mailed the damn letter. None of this would have happened if he just would have mailed the damn letter.
But no, he had to rip it up and throw it out.
Yeah, he had to be a little brat and just throw.
Given.
But you know what I do like about this movie? For the most part, it went right in.
Oh, it does.
There's no setup of, it's no the usual like half hour, 45-minute setup, and then all of a sudden everything explodes. Like, it went right in and it stayed in.
And here's another issue I have with the movie. Because we're about at that part where you're talking about. They're sitting down for dinner. Everybody comes in. They're sitting down for dinner. And the one little bratty kid steals his Santa's Christmas letter.
The letter, yeah.
and reads it in front of everybody. Poking
No
fun.
one would ever let that happen.
No, adult
Nobody
stopped
would
it.
ever. Nobody stopped it.
Not even the kids'
But
parents
then you
who
don't have
live
a
there.
movie either.
And even and the letter is really a heartfelt letter. I
Yeah.
mean, it was a fantastic letter, but they're still like, "Oh, you said this, ha 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 ha." Oh, well,
Oh wait, you thought I should have been a boy? Damn it!
But then the dad. I get the Uncle Eddie ripoff guy is not going to say anything, but when the dad walks in, man, as a father, I'd have yanked that letter out of their hand and said, "You know what? This isn't happening."
Yeah.
Yeah, but.
Either father, even because the
Yeah.
one's an uncle, you still could have went. The uncle could have went over
Yeah,
the
but
actual
he's
father.
kind of a cousin Eddie kind of character. So
Well, I'm talking about the kid's actual dad. The kid's actual dad, who is technically
yeah.
those kids'
Yeah.
uncle, could have went.
Oh yeah,
and
that's
said
what I'm
no.
talk-
This is
that's
not
what I'm
happening to
talking
my
about.
house.
That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
that's bullshit. One thing I did learn, here's your comedic relief. You know what I learned? I learned that I never want a Hummer because the windshield wipers suck. The windshield wipers on that Hummer, he is plowing through, but those windshield wipers
You gonna
are
let him talk
terrible.
about you like this? You're his Hummer.
Suck it,
He's
JP.
talking about how quick you blink while you're sucking. No, anyway, sorry. We'll talk about
He's got nothing. Look at him. He's trying.
By the way,
No,
this
I
is
got
not this is not a kid's podcast.
You don't. I guess you don't like my headlights either.
Yeah, god damn it. Oh my god.
More concerned about your
But
stick
did,
shift.
did anyone feel like and God, I'm sorry. Like I know this is not politically correct, but the son, the fat kid, the came with the family with the
Yes.
uncle.
Yeah.
He looks exactly like the kid from Willy Wonka in the
Dude, I was
70s.
gonna say when that kid first walks in. and
I
he
thought it
just-
was the same kid.
And he's standing there, and the one son's like talking to, "Hey, how are you?" and trying to be nice, and that kid just stares at him. But did you see his lips? His lips looked like they were like just this part of his lips, and he was just like the whole time, and his lips looked like they were about this big, like just like the little front portion of his lips. And I was like, "Is that makeup, or is his lips
so-
really like this?"
So I looked a little deeper into this too. Like I almost feel like if you look at the family members, and then you think about the 7 deadly sins. Think about like say you've got
Okay.
greed, sloth. You got the aunt was kind of greed, and then everyone's got a little part to play there. So I kind of got that too. So that Pudgier kid, I instantly thought about that because he seemed to be so fixated on that. I think that was intended.
There's 2 things though that could have just like, and I get it, it's a movie. We gotta have a movie, but 2 things could have ended this whole thing.
Him not
One,
ripping the
mail
letter
the
up.
damn letter.
Yeah.
What's number 2?
What you got?
Keep the fire hot, you morons.
Oh well, they fell
Well,
asleep.
they kept the fire hot. But
No, it burned out, and the kid got taken up the damn.
No.
Yes,
no.
it burned out. It burned out
Well,
while they were
yeah,
sleeping,
yeah,
and then the
yeah.
kid got taken up the
I'm thinking of
chimney.
I'm thinking of the second time.
Well,
that
yeah,
it
no,
goes up
everything else,
because-
but it all happened because they were like, "Oh, we're in."
yeah. But the second time they had the fire going, and the Krampus's elves came in and threw ice. on it.
I actually really enjoyed the elves part. Like,
I
I
did
thought
too.
that was pretty interesting.
That's
but
that's
I know I'm way
kinda
far ahead.
The
But
trick or treat element. That's
Yeah.
where you see
But-
some crossover.
here's the thing: it's snowing that bad out. Are you really gonna let your daughter just go try to find her boyfriend?
I mean, if
My
you're
daughter
if-
wouldn't have went to her boyfriend's house at that age. Anyway.
yeah, mine weren't dating till they're 16. But I know I'm old school. I know.
The
but
hell is
yeah,
wrong with
yeah, see, well, hey, I have good kids, so I'm happy I did what I did.
Hey, if my daughter lived with me, she wouldn't have dated till she was 30.
My daughters would probably think I would be the same way, but they
Your daughter could have literally said, "Dad, I will go get you Bojangles," and you'd been like, "Okay."
No.
She could have bribed you at Bojangles. I've seen you at Bojangles. I have a picture of you 2 sitting at Bojangles in North Carolina on my phone. She could have. You want him to do something? Go get him Bojangles.
that's too far away from me.
It's right here.
Oh, is it?
There's one
I
right
didn't
here
know
now.
that.
They
There's
opened one here.
in North Canton.
According to Waylon, it's garbage. He's
How-
actually
how-
wrote letters.
How would he say that?
It's garbage.
No.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
garbage.
There you go. Yeah.
But with that being said, I mean, like, she goes out and does that, and then, I mean, I get it. You want to go find your kid, but at that point, like, I don't know, man. Like, there's just so much going on here. Oh, we'll take the Hummer and we'll be fine. My only question was, maybe I missed something. Sorry for those who want to rip me apart. What was it coming under the snow for? Were they just elves under the snow? What was that?
It never really showed.
Is this Tremors in the snow?
Well,
What is going on here?
It's obviously the elves or something, but it's one of the creatures.
So, and well, my understanding is the Krampus and the elves are demonic spirits too. So, you got demons at play. It could be anything. I don't know. One of those elves could have been that. Yeah. What if it was it the Jack in the Box?
I don't think. I
maybe.
don't think it was one of the toys because the toys came out of the presents.
Yeah.
That busted open. So I think
Not
it
the the Jack in the Box. He was big.
It didn't. But
It's a movie.
It's a movie. I don't think they really said, but all those gifts were upstairs and they all busted open, and so I just assumed that the Jack in the Box, maybe when it was possessed, it grew and got
Did
bigger.
its thing.
Because that was a.
I actually really liked the mouth on that.
It was a ridiculously huge Jack in the Box anyway, so it wasn't like something that was just up there anyway.
But my thing is, the other thing that got me was this. We were only out there for 4 minutes. You're telling me in 4 minutes you got in the Hummer, drove, got out, your Hummer got destroyed, you got to the person's house, you almost died, he saved you, and you made it back home in 4 minutes?
Have you ever given a generalization where you're like, you did something like a month ago and you're like, yeah, I did it the other day? Well, it's kind of like that.
4 minutes? No.
4 minutes, but they also not only did they do everything you said, they also went back to the Hummer and got guns out of the back of it. Out of the hidden compartment.
But here's the thing, though. The attack in the house, I thought was done really well. Compared to the noises up in the attic, to when the kid got taken up, I thought all of that was done really well. My favorite scene was definitely something about the gingerbread men shooting the
nail gun.
The nail gun. That
good.
shit cracked. Like, I'm laughing at that. And he starts taking them out. I was laughing at that. But everything in the attic.
The best scene in this whole movie was the gingerbread attack scene, but the very end of it, when the dog eats the gingerbread man.
Yep. But I do think that the attack scene in the attic, I thought was done really well. Like, there was a lot going on there, and it was like bang, 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 from the Jack in the Box to whatever you want to call that flying
little angel
angry thing.
There was a robot.
Yeah, the robot, the dad's getting attacked hard. Yeah. The mom's getting it. The aunt's trying to go save her kid.
Well, she was attacked by something too. What was she attacked by? I can't remember
forget now.
But it was another toy.
Wasn't it the Jack in the Box when she was upstairs?
The Jack.
She was trying to stop it from getting her kid.
But I was thinking she was attacked by a third toy, but maybe she wasn't.
No, there was something that was there something flying?
Well, that was the angel.
I thought that came down on her and bit her arm or something.
I can't remember. Yeah, we've
There's so many, but there was a lot. But there was a lot going on in that scene real fast. I mean, upstairs, like, that whole thing happened fast. But it was, I thought they did I personally, for being this movie is titled a horror comedy, and for not being a horror fan, enjoyed it. I got both. I got the comedy out of it. I got the horror out of it. I think they did a good job with all of the attacking elements. I love how the Jack in the Box mouth just kept opening and getting weird.
The design of the Jack in the Box was awesome. Like when he's swallowing the one kid, and it was definitely
how it's. I like how he was trying so hard to get through the ventilation system to just get away. Like there was realistic. Like, it wasn't just like, we're just going to be on attack mode until we're taken out. Like, he was like, nope, I'm getting out of here. Like, this is enough. I've done my job. Like, to me, that added a realistic element. Because, as you said to me, you notice I'm more of a realistic you know, like when it comes to superheroes, I like more realistic superheroes than things that, you know.
When you were out here, he said he liked Arrow as well, and I'm like, Arrow, Batman. I just started seeing a theme. So
Yeah.
I like the Arrow TV show.
He likes he don't like superpowers, but he likes people that can shoot bow and arrows and throw boomerangs at you.
Batarangs and fly through the sky and Gotham and a fictional city. And
It could happen. If the money was there,
But
that could
you
happen.
give somebody a power ring with the power of will, that's unrealistic.
Correct. Just like lightsabers aren't real either. You guys
yes,
just
they are. They just brought them out at the last year's what? At the they're real.
They're-
They're coming.
The Star Wars celebration. That's what
they're
it was.
coming.
Thank
They're
you.
coming.
I do. You know what? The thing that got me the most with this movie that I really, really liked was at the end how every time Krampus attacked, everyone had their own snow globe. I love the end of the movie.
So we're already at the end of the movie.
For me. You guys can do your. I've went through everything that I liked.
I mean, the creature design. I love.
Well, hold on. Are your review's coming up? Are you done?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'll chime in on you guys' shit.
Okay, so
I'm just going through the steps with him.
Yeah,
So-
like
okay.
there's plenty of
That
things
was-
that
that was
I
your
have
review,
not
right?
touched on, but yeah, I personally, from start to finish, I thought it was a great movie.
Okay.
I mean, because like I said, I've been going through my stuff with you, and I love the creature design.
But it wasn't realistic at the mall, so he's out.
No. Well,
There's no Star Wars, so I'm out.
There's no laser swords in this film.
There's no Ash.
Laser swords. Oh, no.
Laser swords. He said laser swords.
Might have to leave the room.
You just hurt his feelings.
But
At
I
least
mean,
you didn't call them lifesavers.
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 Oh, you just
I
fucked
gave
up.
him a new
You
word.
just fucked up.
Why? I don't see that. I can deal with that.
From now on, it's no longer a lightsaber. It's a lifesaver.
But I love the creature designs, and you know, like I said, the whole sequence. I love the gingerbread sequence. I love when the dog goes into the ductwork trying to find the Jack in the Box.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
The design of Krampus, I loved.
Yes.
I did love the practical. I love the practical effects, and I love the design of his face. Looked like he took Santa Claus's face, skinned it, and is just wearing Santa's face because it kind of hangs off of him too.
And I did like how like Grandma went through her like when I finally went
the
through Grandma.
animated,
Oh,
It was
me.
awesome.
Oh,
yeah,
me.
But I like the storyline because it explains that he does have a heart. Like he
Yeah.
let her go, so it shows that it can happen again.
yeah.
Then
The-
again, that leads us to my next question. Have they just been living in a bulb in a snow globe since hers?
No, I think he let her go, and he was letting the son go at the end, but he decided to stay because he wanted to be with his family. That was my takeaway.
Okay, good point. I can
I
see
didn't
that.
get that.
Yeah, because
It's not my takeaway.
he I mean,
You fucking idiot! That's not what I got out of it.
whenever he leaves him the bell.
No, I didn't mean like that. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
like,
he leaves him the bell, and he takes the one kid, and they're going to throw him into the pit.
I mean, I see how you can see
yeah,
that.
and then he
but-
shows up and says, "No, I want my family," and throws the bell at him, and then he takes him and he throws all of them into the pit. At that point, I think at that point he gave up his right to go on like the grandmother did.
I never took it that way until you said that, and now I'm on that side.
Yeah,
Until
I mean,
he says what he says, and then he could sway me.
that
but
was how I took.
That's a
took
really
that
good way
away.
of looking at it, though. I
Yeah.
never thought about it that way.
I don't think they were in the snow globe until after he went into the pit.
I agree with that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that Krampus was letting him go because he left him the bell.
But would he be alone at that point?
He would have been
like Grandma
alone,
was.
like Grandma was.
Okay.
Yeah. The movie's good, and like I said at the beginning, that to me is a PG-13 movie, and that was, and it felt like a PG-13 movie for me.
But I feel like it needed to be like for what he said. They were doing a family movie, and I agree with that.
Were they when that
It's
movie,
more family oriented than horror, so it's definitely.
It is, but when they when when the movie released, they didn't show it in trailers to gear it towards kids. So that's my problem with the film. And
well, I think they
well, it sounds like you have a lot more problems than that with the film.
you aren't happy with the misrepresentation of the trailers.
Wait, did you give a rating on it?
no,
I figure we'll do that at the end.
Okay.
We'll do that at the
I
end.
didn't know if we were.
No, we'll hit that at the end.
Okay.
But am I right? You're not happy with the misrepresentation of what you thought you were going into.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Moron. Your turn.
Oh, okay. So,
I'm sorry.
it's a tough crowd here. These three, we're gonna be brutally honest to each other, and we'll agree, we'll disagree, we'll laugh, we'll cry. It'll be fun. Anyways, so Krampus for me. So I always tell my 11-year-old, and the reason I said also and reinforce this isn't a kids podcast is because I don't want any kids crying when I say the next statement. Instead of having my son not believe in Santa at 11, he's the last kid who still believes in Santa in his class.
Good for him.
That's okay.
And that's because I always say Santa's what you make him. So if you believe in him, you put that Christmas spirit forward, then you get your Santa. You've got everything you want.
That's well played.
And that's good. So to me, when I said that, then I'm watching this film and I saw the likeness they gave of Krampus, and I kind of got, when Omi was giving her story, I got the vibe that there was this you pick the Santa you get based on how you behave, and that's the version you get. You either get the good Santa we all know, or you get the Krampus who we all see. So I kind of took it like that, and I ran with that, and it helped a little bit. Like if I have my 11-year-old watch that movie, I think maybe he'll get his crap together a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, so those little things were kind of cool and fun strings to pull on. I agree with you totally about the look of Krampus, and especially the elves. The elves were really, really cool.
Yeah.
I like the hooves.
Well, that's all the more reason I think you would like and enjoy. If you like this, you'd like Trick or Treat, just because similar producer and costume design effects, the whole bit. And I think that those designs he had, even when you see Sam without his mask, you see that kind of go over into those elves. I really got that vibe. And so I definitely like that. And then at the end, the ending, like, you guys broke down most of the movie, so like I'm more taking away the moral side of this.
Yeah.
I like the moral learned here for me, but I also like, so for comparisons, I want to make sure I have these. So Nightmare Before Christmas kind of gave me the vibes for like the claymation is with the elves.
Yeah.
I kind of got those vibes. There's a National Lampoon mock almost, like it's like if you put them side by side, there's kind of a National Lampoon. You got Dad at his wit's end, the uncle who shows up, the aunt who invites herself, so you get all this family coming in. But then I had like a Gremlins / The Mist vibe for some of the film too, because obviously the gingerbread men are the Gremlins, but the Mist vibe was just, the Mist sits with me so deeply for so long, because I won't get into the ending, but the ending is amazing.
It has one of the greatest endings of any film.
Speaking of not seeing things coming from our last episode, we were talking about that. Like, I did not expect the ending to come out of The Mist, and I kind of got that vibe from this. So, like, it wasn't a happy ending. Everyone thought there was this happy ending, and I'm, again, referencing Krampus as a demon, and if demons take souls, I feel like the snow globe collections are his souls he's collected through the years. So whether the boy chose or not, and he had that out, that's a possibility. But I do think that those are.
I agree that he had his possibility, but he chose to stay, and then no matter what, everyone else was going there.
So not a happy ending, and I dig that. That to me, like, you had the moral aspect of it, and then you also had that. I also like that Omi had this cultural background. She was speaking German in it, and she was kind of giving the backstory to her too in the middle out of nowhere.
And that's one thing I did love about that film. This film is when she was telling her story, that whole animated part that felt like Coraline or something like that, and that whole thing it felt really Neil Gaiman.
And you get
and I loved it. I did love that little bit.
Right, and you get the sense of I like that. Normally in the beginning of a movie, you get those backstories and context, and this, like, blindsided you out of nowhere in the middle of the movie you're watching. You're like, oh, okay, her backstory, we get it now, and we're seeing what's going on, and it was cool. I dug it.
It's like very Harry Potter-ish with, like, telling the story of the Deathly Hallows.
My son is just learning his instrument in band, and he's playing the xylophone. And he looked up the usual songs they gave him, but of course we looked up the Harry Potter song right away because we're trying to figure out how to play that. So that song popped in my head right when you said that, because I can see that town and that completely.
I don't know. I you've got my brain. Because I didn't think about that with the kid.
I like
really
that.
No. See, that was
because you gotta understand. I'm a very face value when it comes to these kind of like my wife within a half hour ago, this is what's happening, and I'll be like,
so
100%. I mean, Krampus has taken their souls, but
I didn't think about the kid having an out.
The kid had an out, but he chose to be with.
I would further this though. I would want to know more about the globes. What's the extent of the globe power? What's the extent of the world within that globe? Are they limited to just their house and happily living in their house forever, or do they have their normal lives?
See, I think they have to relive Christmas Day every day. It's like Groundhog's Day inside the globe.
But these are all things we don't know, and I kind of like that was left unknown.
Well, didn't they? Yeah. I mean, I have never looked at it, but didn't they do a second one?
No.
Hold on, because when you look up the Krampus movies for the franchise, there's so many that don't even seem like they're related to this movie whatsoever. So I don't know if they're all tied in somehow.
They're not. They're not. As far as I know, there's
just their own version.
But there is other Krampus movies, especially after this one was done, where people were like, "Oh, this movie did pretty well. Let's
do our own version."
I saw one of them I didn't watch, but it was like Mother of Krampus or something like that. And I watched the trailer, and I won't be watching that.
I did go through and get box office numbers.
I
actually have them sitting right here. But
Yes.
So you Rotten Tomato scores and
no. So I hate Rotten Tomatoes.
I think that whole thing is BS.
I think it's garbage.
Yeah. The amount of movies that I love that get like a 24.
Well, that's what I was saying. So the Krampus overall is a 60%.
Yeah.
For Rotten Tomatoes. So I wanted to see what you guys thought about that. Like, how accurate do you feel that is?
I think that's low.
To me, that's pretty accurate.
I feel like it's about 20% low.
No.
For me.
No.
Oh,
for me.
On a personal level.
For a personal level, yeah. Because here's the thing. Like you touched on this, but like I felt like the movie it started off good. It jumped right into the issue. I thought they did a great job of the characters, the attacks, the characters that are attacking all look great. And then at the end, I like the twist of this is not a happy ending. Because we're so used to the same stuff. That's why a lot of movies halfway through, I will shut off because I'm like, I already know what's going on here. They got to have the little bit of conflict, and then everything's going to be fine at the end. My wife loves Hallmark movies, but that's what it always is.
Well, I mean,
I'm over the same shit every time.
The movie moves quick, and it does. It goes through the numbers, but it moves quick. It doesn't. The movie doesn't bog down. It does move quick. I mean, I get why you like it. I get why other people love this movie. It's just it doesn't go.
Doesn't move quick like your guys' touring relationship
At all.
In the back of the van.
At all. It doesn't make me happy like that.
Do you want to have a conversation about that? You have no idea how many times.
What happens in the van stays in the van. Leave me out
No,
of
you
it.
don't understand how many times it's happened. No, listen. 3 times now.
Wait a minute.
Shut up and listen. 3 times now on the road.
No,
I have been.
Pause. You gotta pause. Because you said, the way you said you don't understand leads me to believe that you've been violated numerous times.
By Waylon's ass. Like Waylon will walk in the back and just rip and leave us in our own.
That's different violation.
But what's funny with him is, it's happened 3 times. But the one time we were playing in Harrison, Ohio at the Blue Note, and I left everyone inside, and I went and climbed in my bunk, and my bunk is above JP's, and we are sending each other just meme after meme of bullshit, and I didn't even see him come in the Sprinter and get in his bunk, and a half hour after I jumped down, and he's right there, and I'm like, how long have you been there? And he's like, 30 minutes. I'm like, so we have been texting each other for the last 30 minutes. And I'm 3 feet above you. And he goes, yep. This has happened multiple times where we didn't even know each other's even in the.
Well, I knew he was in there. I just didn't care to let him know that I was in there.
I'm trying to figure out how I didn't see you because
I'm more concerned about what you were texting each other in the sticky sheets afterwards.
Sticky sheets? Who said there were sticky sheets?
Well,
now you're just making up stuff.
Well, no, it's what you said.
I never said sticky sheets.
You said it whenever you was like, it happened 3 times.
Not only that, you're like the thing.
Let's go to the box office numbers.
Do you want to guess? Do you want to try?
I'm looking at it right now. I already had it up.
Why are you cheating?
I had it up.
No,
I already had it up. I told you. Did I not say In the beginning of this podcast, I'm gonna have my computer for this kind of stuff.
But no,
yeah, but you
you-
should probably not use Wikipedia for it.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, and you should.
What's your numbers to mine?
You done ruined it. You should have been guessing whenever I threw it at you. But no, you cheated. You left your computer up.
I haven't seen a computer yet, so what
Okay. So, the cost of this film was $15 million.
That's what I got here.
That's what he got. Yeah. Domestic, 42.7.
Doesn't say that on here.
Oh.
I have a total box office.
International, 18.8. Total, it made 61.5 million.
That's what I have here. Which I don't think that's a win.
Off of a 15 million budget.
That's a win.
So it made money.
For sure. And back to the Rotten Tomatoes thing, I think 60% also is accurate. And that's me not just thinking about myself, thinking how other people perceive it.
Yeah.
Because it definitely is
Since when do you care about other people?
Because it's a niche, like a genre that if you're not into horror or you don't want that feel-good moment, then, yeah, it's not for you.
What's your overall rating on our scale?
So are we doing the nerd rating?
Yeah.
1 to 5?
1 to 5 nerd rating.
My 1 to 5, I'd give it a 3.5.
3.5 nerds.
3.5. Okay, so wait.
3.5 nerds.
Wait a second here. I want you to think about your rating here, and then
I said 80%, which would be 75% on the 3.5. Roughly.
I feel like you're okay.
I don't have any problems with it. I think there are a few things maybe could have been done differently. Am I going to go into it? No, because they're so minuscule.
I mean, I agree with your 3.5. I just think that feels pretty close to the 64%.
60. I think 60 is low. I'll give you a 70. I'll meet you in the middle. I'll give you a 70 because I feel that my only issues with it is I feel like the attack parts were so fast and over with so fast. I feel like that. I mean, I really do feel like those parts could have been maybe elongated because that was the point of it. They're coming for him. And I feel like the only part that was actually really stretched out, in my opinion, was the gingerbread cookies. Like, they kept going back to him fighting these things. But meanwhile, upstairs was like bang, 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 bang. And, I'm trying to get my kid out of the vent. And then it was done.
Yeah.
Where, meanwhile, he's still down there trying to take out cookies. Like, how...
All I know is, bro, I mean, and this isn't just because I'm fat, but I would have just eaten them all. So they wouldn't have stood a chance. I don't know how that dude lost the gingerbread.
And he's a
the
small
dog
guy.
did.
He's not a small guy. So, I mean...
That's what the dog did. The dog said, "I'm gonna
Every
eat this
bite I
fucking
would have
thing."
taken, I was like, whammy.
All right, so 3.5.
I give it 3.5.
3.5 nerds. I'm gonna be generous. I'm gonna give it a 3 nerds. I'm gonna give it a 3 nerds.
Generous.
I'm going to match that. I think three nerds is good.
Yeah, I think, and I think the 3 sits pretty close to 60, between 60 and 70% for me. But I could go lower. But I think, I'm gonna give it a 3 because I understand why people like this film.
Okay. I mean,
I think
live with
Christmas time. It's a watch movie for sure. Any other time of the year, I wouldn't be just throwing it on.
Oh no, it's not Christmas Vacation. I'll put that on in June. I don't care.
No, I wouldn't put that on.
No, that's when you watch
yeah.
Vegas Vacation.
Yeah, it's seasonal vacations, buddy. Jesus.
European Vacation.
So here's my question. So since we have 2 more episodes to do on Christmas movies. So I have one question for this one, and I have another one for the next one. Worst Christmas movie that everyone loves to you guys.
That everyone loves. Oh, I already know what you're gonna say, but
What's
I
mine?
He's gonna
completely
say
disagree.
Christmas
He's gonna
Story.
say Elf.
I hate Elf.
Oh,
He is
Elf is
so
the worst fucking
anti-Elf,
movie.
and I
I don't. Here's the thing. I'll be open and honest. I don't like Will Ferrell that much. I'm not saying every movie is bad, but as a whole,
I said, I love
I'm
Will
over
Ferrell.
him.
I do
love,
too.
And Talladega.
I
think Talladega Nights is one of the greatest
I
comedies ever.
loved Anchorman, the first one. The second one was terrible, but the first one was great. I actually like him, and I don't remember the name of the movies, but I like
Second
the
Super
ones
Troopers was horrible, too.
with Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, the other guys.
Those are funny.
See, I love Talladega Nights. I love Step Brothers.
Step Brothers was good.
I love Holmes and Watson. People hated that movie, and I thought that movie was great. So,
I just think as a whole, he just does the same thing over and over and over.
but I'm not a fan of Elf either. So
That movie.
I love Elf.
That movie.
I
That
think it's
movie
amazing.
annoys the piss out of me.
Oh, come on, dude! The Peter Dinklage scene alone is gold.
I'll give you
Call
that.
me little one more time.
But as a whole, I can't stand that movie.
Worst Christmas movie for me.
I do not like Christmas Story though either. I will say that.
What is wrong?
I
with
like the
you,
second
dude?
one better than the first one actually.
What was
Oh
it?
my!
The second one I thought was better than the first. The second Christmas Story movie was actually better than the
Oh,
first
the
one.
one
Where the kid-
summer or the
No, the one where they just did that one
the
like
new
last
one, the
year
new
where
one.
they.
It's okay. It's not.
It was
bad.
good.
It's good, but Christmas Story is tradition for me, and in fact, it's filmed in Cleveland.
That's
It's-
why everyone in Cleveland loves it.
Well, yeah, because what's
It's not a
wrong with
reason-
that?
It's not
What's
a
wrong?
reason to like a movie because it was shot in Cleveland.
Well,
That helps.
but
Nah.
I mean, the film is played on a 24-hour rotation, so obviously people love it all over the world. So, my most hated, and I guess it's going to be argued if this is a Halloween film or a Christmas film.
Nightmare for Christmas.
Nightmare Before
Most
Christmas.
hated.
I hate the Nightmare Before Christmas.
Meanwhile, he has those giant pops in the basement.
No,
Yeah.
my wife has those. I'm not a fan. I buy them for her. She loves it, but I hate not the.
You know what's funny about that movie? I like the movie. I used to have a lot of collectibles of it, but here's my thing: it's so slow that I always fall asleep. But I love the Oogie Boogie part. I love the colors. I love the aspect of it.
I think my thing of why I hate it, I'm not a big Tim Burton fan. Like
Do you like the Batman movies?
Well, listen here. I like Pee-wee's Big Adventure that he did. I love Mars Attacks. I like the Batman films he did. I love Ed Wood. Big Fish I love.
Did you like 9?
Coraline.
Coraline is Neil Gaiman. And
That's right.
actually Tim Burton did not direct that, but the team that worked on Nightmare Before
That's
Christmas
kind of like
did.
9 though. He didn't direct 9, but he was a part of 9.
I think it was I don't believe that Tim Burton had anything to do with that one either.
Yeah.
Pretty sure he was.
I think it was his team that worked on Nightmare that worked on that.
I appreciate
But
Nightmare because
and I love. So there's a lot of movies that I do love. However, I hate Edward Scissorhand. I
can understand
despise Edward
He's on the
Scissorhands.
wall.
That was for my wife.
Oh Jesus! You're full of excuses.
I hate everything he did after Big Fish. Like every movie he did after Big Fish, I despise. Like I think he's a one trick pony. So I just
to go in on the
Not
Tim
a
Burton
fan.
aspect. So my problem wasn't so much the movies; it was the consistency of the use of the actors. Like in his movies, like single thing was Helena Bonham Carter and Johnny Depp. Like, what was Sweeney Todd? Like, no.
Did you
stop.
like Sleepy Hollow? I liked Sleepy Hollow.
I watch it.
I like the
because
fact that Walken
hang on.
was.
I watch it for one reason. Christina Ricci.
I was gonna say he's
and
gonna.
that's
say
the
some
only
girl.
reason I watch it.
I actually couldn't stand her back then. I didn't actually appreciate her
God, I hate you.
acting until
I
she
hate
was in Yellow Jackets.
I hate you.
Dude, Yellow Jackets is great.
Right?
My wife. I started watching that with my wife by accident, and I can't stop.
Oh no,
watching
that
it
show's
now.
great. I
Yeah.
need to get the second season still. But...
I have been in love with Christina Ricci since Casper,
No, you weirdo.
and I've just grew up with her, and I
The
still love her to this
the one
day.
thing that I appreciate about Nightmare Before Christmas is the amount of work it takes to make a movie like that.
Oh no, it's fantastic.
Like,
and the weird thing is another Tim Burton film that I do like is Corpse Bride. I do like the Corpse Bride,
Yeah, that's good.
but I mean obviously I think Corpse Bride is way better than Nightmare Before Christmas.
What's your most hated, Ryan?
I don't know. This is a weird question to get thrown with. 'cause
You
I really
can't
don't-
ask a big jolly man to hate a Christmas movie.
If I had to be
You
honest,
might be Santa.
if I dude, I have no problems as I get older becoming a Santa because they make bank every fucking time they sit down. It's like $500 an hour. It's stupid.
Dude, by the time he's 65, he's gonna be kicking the kid down like in Christmas Story.
You'll
Like,
shoot your eye out, kid.
oh no, don't fall.
I would have to easily,
Easily? Making
I'd
up
have to
words
pick
again?
any Alvin and the Chipmunks movie. So any their Christmas stuff is, I can't listen to it. The high pitched voices and yeah. Yeah, no.
I'm a little brokenhearted. I had that cassette when I was little.
I have the
I
I have
listened
the
to
I
it
have the
all
record at my
time.
parents' house
when
right
you were
now.
little, when's the last time you threw it in and listened to it recently?
Couple
You
years
know
ago.
what? I haven't in years, but now that you've said this,
It's happening.
You'll get through one song and you'll be like, ooh, okay.
I feel like I need to pull that shit up now.
Yeah.
You can put on Apple Music
It's
right
I'm saying,
fucking
I bet
now.
that's on Apple Music.
I've got Willy's Wonderland, the whole thing on my phone.
When JP cuts us up, you know that's coming in at that point.
All you're gonna hear is
Christmas time.
you're just gonna be like, I just wanna hula hoop.
Oh boy.
Well,
Alrighty,
are we gonna wrap this one up?
let's wrap this one up.
So 2 3s and a 3.5.
2 3s and a 3.5.
I'm always a little bit bigger. That's fine.
Yeah. Keep dreaming, Al.
Hey, we made it through a whole episode. I'm actually impressed with you two. We made it through episode 2, and there was no 5-minute tangent somehow about Star Wars. So congratulations. I'm proud of you.
We did talk about laser swords.
You did, but it was quick.
I mean,
upsetting.
And lifesavers.
Hold on. Both lightsabers and laser swords are not Star Wars.
Yeah,
So
they are now.
we didn't have a tangent about Star Wars. But now I'm talking about Star Wars. If you hit your head a little harder on that wall, your
That
hair will
might
flip
fall.
over to that side.
It might be worth it. I'll fix it, I promise.
All right. Do we want to tell people what the next episode's going to be on?
Well, before we do that, 3cinenerds@gmail.com. Always open for suggestions and your guys' input because we want you guys to feel as much part of this as we are.
Yes, please. Yeah, well, you picked the next movie, so tell them what it is.
So next week, the episode is going to be on the film Fat Man, starring Mel Gibson. And who else is in this film? Who else is in this film?
Your boyfriend.
Walton Goggins.
His
I love Walton Goggins.
If you're not familiar with who Walton Goggins is, look him up and you'll know him. He's the actor who you don't know the name, but you definitely know the face.
Baby Billy.
Baby Billy.
We're gonna keep the Christmas theme going though, since we're in December. So hopefully you guys like what we got to say.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week.
Have a good day.
Ho ho ho.
God damn it. Have a good day.